Hello everyone, and thanks for tuning into the Financial Investor channel. My name is Brent, and today we're going to be doing our stock market weekly recap for the 8th through the 12th, 2019 for April. We're going to go over last week's changes, which is displayed here. We're going to look at the 4 index changes for the week and year to date, look at my portfolio change for the week, and then we're going to look at stock futures, the S&P 500 as a whole. Disney came out with their new with their new streaming service. Also, financial earnings started with JP Morgan and a few others. I know I posted about JP Morgan here on the Facebook team. We're going to be looking at financials overall, the ETF, home builders, oil, silver, gold, bonds, and then mortgage rates have actually continued to stay about low. So that is what we're going to be doing in today's video. If you are brand new to the channel, hit that subscribe button below. I make videos going over the stock market, dividends, real estate, entrepreneurship. So if you're interested in any of that, hit that subscription button. And of course, if you do enjoy this video, hit that thumbs up. And if you have any comments, questions, going over anything in today's video, drop it in the comment section. I always read and reply to all your comments, and I appreciate all the feedback that I do get. So last week's changes is here in front of us. The S&P 500 popped up 2.06% last week. The Dow Jones up 1.91. The Nasdaq was the winner here, up 2.71%. And then my portfolio up 2.51%. So very nice movement last week. So I was actually expecting a bit of a cool off, especially with financials coming out. But on Thursday, bonds were kind of sold off. Financials did really well towards the end of the day. On Thursday, gold, silver also dropped on Thursday, kind of meaning that they were moving their money out of these materials, bonds, and moving it into financials due to the valuation. You can see here the S&P 500 gapped up here in the after hours on Thursday, started high and then kind of cooled and then repopped up towards the afternoon, ending at a positive here on Friday, up 0.66%. Also, we had some news overseas, over in Japan. If we take a look here at the main markets page and kind of just scroll down here, we'll see Hong Kong here, Japan, London, Germany. These all did really well as well, which kind of helped out the market overall. I believe there was some news overseas that really helped them with earnings and their export numbers and such. So the S&P 500 5-day change up this week, up 0.51%. Year to date, up 15.98%. That is an incredible jump, start of the year, up nearly 16%. The Dow Jones is flat or down for the week, down 0.05%. Year to date, this is in last place, currently down, or it's positive still, up 13.22%. But of all the indexes this week, this was the negative one. The Nasdaq 5-day change up 0.57%, year to date up 20.33%. And then we have our second place here is our Russell 2000, up for the 5-day change 0.14%. Year to date, this is up 17.52, putting it in second place behind the Nasdaq. And then we have the S&P 500 here in third place, and then Dow Jones slugging behind the main indexes. Now, currently, stock futures, they're about flat or maybe possibly negative opening on Wednesday, just due to how much we gapped up on Friday. We may have a bit of a cooling period on Monday. S&P 500 showing futures down 0.03. Nasdaq and Dow are positive. So, with Disney coming out with their streaming service, Disney popping up very nice today. Let's see, I'm not sure if it'll show me the movement here on Disney for the day. But overall, they came out, they surged nearly, I believe, up actually 12% for the day. So they came out listing their monthly costs at $6.99. It's basically half the price of what Netflix offers, and they jumped up to about 12% for the day. 12.5% is what I believe I saw when I was checking it out in the morning, and that it did cool off towards the midday, recovered, and then ended up 11.51%. Now, I saw a lot of investors in the dividend chats and the group chats and all the little Discord chats and such saying, buying up Disney, is this a good time to buy? You don't want to buy on the news after it's already came out. When a stock has already released news, it's popped up, everyone is talking about it, it's already up over 10%, that is not the time you want to be jumping into a stock. I believe Disney should, it gapped up due to the news, so it may retrace back down, retest that, and then pop back higher. You can see here that it opened See if it shows our open. It basically popped up $13 today. So it closed yesterday in the 120, well, actually below 120. Oh, here it shows its previous close was at $116.60. It is now at $130. That's a nearly $15 change there. Year to date, Disney up 18.61%. I know a lot of investors are taking a look at this one back when it was between that $95 to $105 point, and that could have been a good buying opportunity. Whereas now you're buying it at 52-week highs and after the news. So some of the most active stocks here in the after hours, we have Caesar Entertainment Corp up 0.53. General Electric basically flat, AT&T flat, eBay down 0.47%. I don't see a whole lot of financials or semiconductors. So JP Morgan continuing to climb here in the after hours at 0.17 after a very nice move here for the day. So JP Morgan actually popped up very nicely for the day. This is showing a change of 4.69%. They were one of the better of the financials, movement for today. Here we can see JP Morgan. So now we're looking at the entire S&P 500. So if you guys head over to finviz.com, this on the right hand side. So if you check this out, finviz.com, on the right hand side, you'll see this little S&P 500 grid. This is a very nice open way to see the entire market. So here, financials, JP Morgan, one of the highest ones in the financial group, up 4.69% for the day. Bank of America up 3.78%. Wells Fargo selling off due to their loans, I believe, down 2.62%. I believe they led with the numbers and made a couple of investors a bit worried. But then as JP Morgan, Bank of America, Citi Group and such begin to announce, and PNC, they were like, oh no, financials are well off. This is just a fault of Wells Fargo with the way that they do their paperwork and such. So, I'm not sure. I don't know very many investors that actually hold Wells Fargo, but I am definitely, I'm a quick disclaimer, I'm a shareholder of JP Morgan. Now, Apple did end up negative on Friday here, basically flat for the day, but still negative. So down 0.04, Amazon down 0.06, Google and Facebook nearly up 1% there, Twitter down 0.61. So a lot of these healthcare ones came down. I believe Bernie Sanders was the main cause of this, is what I was kind of reading and listening to. He was talking about making the healthcare more of a government-controlled, regulated thing here. So that caused a lot of the healthcare sector to kind of sell off here, biotech, medical devices, and all, basically anything within the healthcare sector. Now, Disney should be over here within this. Yeah, here it is. So Disney, we talked a little bit about it. It popped up 11.54%. Basically came out saying that they are going to be a competitor to Netflix. Netflix sold off today, down 4.49%. FedEx down here up 2.65 on the day. So a lot of good movement. Now, if we look at overall for the 1 week performance, we can see healthcare, this whole sector over here, basically slam, with United Health Group down 10.27% for the week, AbbVie down 3.2%, Merck down 2.12%, Pfizer down nearly 3%, all within that group. Some of the best sectors here, you can see financials, Bank of America, JP Morgan, Berkshire Hathaway actually positive there, 2.55%. Yeah, basically just about every other sector outside of healthcare. Now, oil coming down here, so Exxon and Chevron down a little over 2%, nearly 2% for Exxon, a little over 5% for Chevron. And General Electric, I'm not sure on the news on General Electric. I know I saw some investors talking about General Electric in the chats. I'm not sure, this is, it's not something I would really look into myself. So I don't know a whole lot of information on that. Boeing continuing to sell off here, down 3.14% for the week. So that is the entire S&P 500 there for the week. If you guys want to pause it real quick and take a look at it, otherwise just head over to that website, finviz.com, and check it out. So again, financials, the ticker symbol XLF, which tracks the main, big holdings here with Berkshire, JP Morgan, Bank of America, Wells Fargo, Citigroup, and so on. Positive for the week, up 2.03%, up 13.94 for the year. Semiconductors popping up nicely for the week, up 2.10. Year to date, this is up 31.65. So financials and semiconductors, those tech stocks really helping out move the markets higher. Home builders positive this week, up 0.64%. Year to date, 24.82. So if you guys want to pause, read through what took place here in the oil, we already saw Exxon and Chevron kind of sell off here for the week. So while those ones sold off, actual oil continued to rise higher. I know California oil prices and gasoline rose over $4 here. In Oregon, they broke above $3 now a gallon. So oil prices are continuing to rise in here. So, up 1.14. Oil up year to date 37.68%. The dollar this week coming back. So as the market continues to climb higher, Fed came out basically saying that they're no longer going to be raising rates. I believe there's a little segment in there that they're not going to be raising rates for the remainder of 2019, and could possibly, I believe President Trump was the one talking about how he wants quantitative easing to be reactivated, and the Fed kind of stop releasing objects off their balance sheet, and different little things here and there. But the dollar sold off this week from a high started at 97.37 down to now 96.85. So, dollar actually down with silver and gold. So silver and gold both sold off this week. You can see here with a gap down, with gold on Thursday down 1.82%. Fed coming out, I believe it was Wednesday, or somewhere in that time frame here. I believe that is what caused silver and gold to fall. Fed basically coming out saying that they are not going to be raising rates. That makes the stock market itself much better positioned for your money, because with the Fed not raising rates, mortgage rates are actually coming down. That makes it much more worthwhile to move your investments and money into the stock market and housing versus leaving it in silver here. So silver and gold both gapped down here on Thursday on opening, and gold down 0.12 for the week. Year to date, basically, up 0.48%. But both of those have not been doing very well, and I know a lot of investors, hopefully, I saw a bunch moving like 20-30% towards gold back in late 2018. They sold out of those stocks, moved into materials which haven't performed like the market. The market's up 16% year to date. They recovered basically everything if you had been in it, plus some more. Whereas gold and silver, if you move your money over there, you're basically down maybe 20% in your position. So, hurts. Bonds this week also down 0.17 as the market continues to climb higher. Bonds are selling off here. So, towards the end of Thursday, we noticed a spike here in bond sell-off in gold and silver. So towards the end of the day, you can see some massive sell-offs here towards the end of the day in silver, gold, and bonds. And that was just money moving into the financials. So if we were to look over at the financials and we just took a look at JP Morgan here on Thursday, Friday, we can see a whole lot of buying power that took place here on earnings, and actually prior here in the after hours as well on Thursday and going into it. So just a money transfer from materials and bonds to the financials, which had been down in the dumps. And I believe JP Morgan Chase actually broke above their 200-day moving average, which puts them positive. They're still in a little bit of a rocky area, but otherwise, if they can get over it and continue higher, they should continue to proceed. So U.S. Treasuries continue to trend down lower, and mortgage rate. So the current average 30-year mortgage rate is 4.28%. So it's continued to basically fall just slightly. This is, again, helping housing. I talked to my realtor. We're going to be looking at 6 properties tomorrow. 3 of them are, 4 from my friend. He's looking at a list, and 3 are from mine. But we have one that we kind of are looking at together. So we're going to be looking at 6 properties tomorrow. I'm going to be doing some videos, and then I'll be uploading those here onto my YouTube channel as some walkthroughs and such. So that is basically all I wanted to cover here as far as the 4 million indexes news that went on this week. I did make my Monday buys video. I basically just bought one stock. So I had a bunch of stocks that paid out dividends last week, from Lockheed Martin, $4.47, Kimberly-Clark, $4.91, Walmart, $3.43, Coca-Cola, 43 cents, totaling $13.24. That allowed me to reinvest a little over $115. Basically, I didn't plan on dividends coming in, and I only invested what I had in the account. and that was basically targeted towards one stock, and that was Walgreens. Walgreens did fall this week, down an additional, I believe, 3%. I don't see it in the mix over here. Actually, it would be down with the in this area, I believe. But oh, here it is, Walgreens down 2.27% for the week. So I may continue to buy into that one here on Monday again. Jumping back over here, we had I got my K1 for Blackstone. If you remember, I made a video back in October that I had sold out of Blackstone Group, and I went over why I sold it. It was basically it was a MLP, and the way MLPs do their taxes, they send a K1 to you. It got here 1 week before I'm scheduled to do my taxes. But we have an extension set for my taxes because I'm doing my business taxes and my personal taxes. It's a whole lot of stuff. My CPA is sort of dealing with a lot of that. So we had to file an extension. So that's all in the works. So here we finally had some red here on Monday. So here on April 9th, which is Tuesday. So Tuesday, stock market basically had a bit of a rough day, and I like seeing that sell-off here. So you can see here we had a huge gap down to the negative for the S&P, down 0.61%. So I posted a picture on there. You know, it's nice to see that after 8 consecutive red days, we actually had a single red day, and then the market just continued chugging higher, higher, higher after that. And I did a lot on April 10th. You know, I went through, talked to a title officer that I was wanting to transfer my property between myself and my LLC. I had I have a few other little things in there, so I went to an RE meeting and such. So just a bunch of little information, kind of couple wins for the day there. Learning about HSAs, so kind of another deduction there. So if you can invest in an IRA and you get a tax deduction, you can invest in your 401k, you get a tax deduction. I'm looking into HSAs, which is like a health savings account, which allows you to contribute and then use that cash in there. Either, you know, it's invested similar to an IRA, but then you could use it towards your health expenses and other little means. So I've been kind of reading into that a little bit more. I thought it would be kind of interesting. I watched a real estate. I listened to a real estate podcast, made a bunch of notes over on my website, and kind of went through. They were basically interviewing a property manager, went over how to screen your property manager, what questions to ask them, what this specific property manager provided. And I thought it was kind of a helpful thing to kind of sit and listen to. Friday, I posted pictures of what stocks we're going to be posting earnings on Friday: JP Morgan, Wells Fargo, First Republic Bank, PNC Bank, and Infos Technology. So 4 financials and the tech stocks there. Funny Instagram shots here that I was kind of sharing out. So JP Morgan popped up in the day, 4.7%. And then the total changes for this week. So S&P 500 up 0.51% for the week. Dow Jones in the negative 0.05. The NASDAQ up 0.57. And then my portfolio this week up 0.78%. So my portfolio did fairly well. And I believe, I'm not sure if it was the combination of, you know, JP Morgan, Apple, and a few others. So yeah, Apple basically 1% for the week, which helped me push my portfolio high, and then JP Morgan, and among other stocks out there. So I actually talked about it in my group as far as my breakdown of what stocks performed. So I had another member here in the group post, you know, his moves and wins for the week. So my IRA over on Merrill Edge up 0.98. My Roth IRA 1.93, my thrift savings plan, which basically just follows the market, up 0.55. The Roth 401k at my work up 0.67. My wife's Roth IRA, so that is the M1 Finance Roth IRA, that's up 0.89 for the week. The individual count, basically following the S&P 500, up 0.55% for the week. And then the total movement between all the equities together and the way that they kind of moved was a total increase there of 0.78%, with Tatron, UNM, JP Morgan being my best percentages wins, and then my worst percentages were Pfizer, CenturyLink, and Walgreens for the week. So that is basically all I wanted to cover in today's video. So if you guys did enjoy the video, hit that thumbs up button below. If you are brand new to the channel, have not yet subscribed, but are interested in stock market, dividends, entrepreneurship, and real estate, definitely hit that subscribe button. And if you did enjoy the video, hit that thumbs up. That is it, you guys. Thank you all for tuning in. I will see you next time. Have a great day. Bye.